Alright, here's the video review for the Last Night Voyager HOUND. And again, thanks to my friend Michael for giving me the heads up on where to find these. I made a run across town and picked him up in Megatron. And had a fun little adventure at my old stomping grounds up on the north side of town. But anyway, here he is, HOUND. He is more of a weapon truck this time. He's got a little rotating weapons emplacement on the back that you can kind of fold down to fill in to make it more of a squarish truck if you want. I know, I think Dr. Wu is making a set that actually turns into like a big Gatling cannon, but then folds in to fill out to make this truck more squarish, like his Age of Extinction version, to kind of fill in the back of the truck. But even as he is, I think he's pretty cool. And again, this is made up of this piece and a couple of guns and these two weapons over here. Not quite as loaded out as HOUND from Age of Extinction. Because this one, you can see he's much larger in vehicle mode, although he is, like I said, this is kind of cut out. But even then, he's a little heftier truck in vehicle mode. And this guy, man, I got him out, and I thought I'd found all of his weapons. Then I realized he had two of these little pistols. I found this, and one of these guns, and the little guns in his ankles, and the knife, and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, great, I think I got them all. And then I was putting them into vehicle mode. I'm like, wait, he had another one of these pistols. So then I went back, and while I was digging for another one of these pistols, found the other one of these guns that tag on. And I'm like, man, I forgot just how many weapons this previous Voyager had all over him. Because like I said, on top of this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, he's got this knife and two pistols in his shins. So yeah, that was a bit of an adventure. And you can use all of these with the current Voyager, which we'll get to. Anyway, let's put him off to the side because we don't care about him right now. We care about this guy, who, like I said, is pretty cool. So you can remove this whole assembly. You can keep this stored on his back in robot mode. You can pull off any of these weapons to be used as individual guns if you want. But again, we'll show that off later on when we get to robot mode. And he's actually got a pretty clever transformation. You can kind of see most of his body, but the way he transforms is actually pretty neat. Because these are his arms, here's his head, these are his feet, these go onto his back. It's really kind of neat. So we'll go ahead and unpeg these, lift them up like that, and we'll kind of fold those around and up like that. Those are going to form his back plates here. So we'll open up, unpeg his arms here, and pull them out to the side like that. We'll go ahead and collapse his waist, which pops his head up. This panel can fold all the way back like this. Bring these panels all the way up to the side to form his shoulders. Bring them down. Rotate this little gun piece or the bullet missile or rocket grenades for a rocket launcher armbands. Flip his fist out here and fold that up. Bring that all the way around. So you can see he still has the ammo belt forearms, but they aren't quite as wonky here as they were on the original Voyager. The original Voyager made him look like he had ammo belt hands that were just floppy ammo belts with no substructure, and that was just weird. So bring that up, unpeg his legs here. Come on, untab. There we go. You need to flip. This comes out like this. This folds back like that. This folds down. This folds down. And then the wheel, you have to rotate around. You see this little divot right here. You got to flip this out to form his toes. And peg his whole leg together like that. And the thing is, when you flip this out, all of a sudden, like when you have this rolled up here, this is the wheel is free rolling. When you fold it down to be his foot and snap all this together, it hits into this piece, and it has it still rotates, but you can hear it clicking. It ratchets a little bit. It's not like a super spring ratchet or anything, but it doesn't just flop around, which is really kind of cool. Here's a little piece that it ratchets against right here. There we go. Make sure these come all the way back and lock. And there he is in robot mode. And he's much, I think, better proportioned here in robot mode. That's cool. He also has a removable helmet. His helmet can come off. You can take it off, check it for things, and then you get shot in the head, and then Johnny Rico will get in trouble. Anyway, I'm making Starship Trooper references. But yeah, overall, just a really nice, nicely designed Hound. Definitely a figure that benefited from improvements. Fold this all the way around. In the design process since he showed up again, and they had more time to work on his model. Like I said, he has this gun. You can hold it as one big weapon. You can pull these big guns off and the little guns off, and you can hold these as individual weapons or these as individual weapons. Entirely up to you. And this piece can store here on his back, and you can store the weapons right here. And if you want, you can have you can flip the cannons and have them kind of coming up over his shoulders. You can arm him to the teeth pretty much. Not as much as his previous Voyager, although he does still have some grenades and all sorts of weapons molded on, but not quite as many removable weapons, which is almost kind of a blessing, because those other weapons on his previous Voyager didn't really stay on his side of his robot or his vehicle mode very well, and finding places for all of them was a little bit of a pain. Articulation-wise, he's got a ball joint at the head, or at least a dual swivel. I can't see under there well enough, but it can move up and down a little bit and side to side. Dual swivel shoulders, bicep hinge, 90-degree movement at the elbow. He does have wrist swivel. That's nice that they worked that in there. He does have a waist swivel, although it's not 100 degrees or 360 degrees. This back plate does kind of block it, but you do get that range of motion. Side to side and front to back hip swivel. You can also lift this up a little bit if you want more range of motion out of the legs. Thigh swivel. The knees, kind of non-existent because of the way he transforms, but oh well. That's one of those things you just got to live with. A little bit of ankle tilt and some motion in the toe. But all in all, like a much cooler looking Hound, I think, than the original. And I'll bring that in here. Also looks a little older. This guy looks like a young guy who's just had a wild unkempt beard. This for some reason this face looks a little bit more older, war-torn soldier. But better proportions overall. I think you can see he doesn't have these wonky, bent, weird elbows or forearms with the ammo belts. He still has them here, but just a lot more structure. The only thing that I miss about on this one that this one has is the three wheel toes down here. Like, I like the way that these work, the way these rotate freely in vehicle mode and then ratchet a little bit in robot mode, but they do just look like opened up wheels for feet, and I do wish he had these toes. That's really my only complaint about this one versus the original. You can, like I said, you can have him hold. He does still have all the weapons, and one gun back here, two guns on his hips, two guns here in his shins, the other pistol here, the big gun, the knife, and you can, if you want, give all of them to him. He can hold them. Now, he doesn't have the same kind of storage capacity all over his body like the original did, but I'm much happier with this Hound. Just from paint apps to design to basic sculpt, I think he's a much more fun figure. He's a huge improvement over the original, and I think definitely worth picking up. And just real quick, where did he go? Here he is. I'll show you here with Voyager Prime, just to give you an idea of how those two scale together. So yeah, if you only get one of the Wave 2 Voyagers, I definitely think Megatron's the better one. But Hound here is actually quite a bit of fun. And if you've been thinking like, maybe I'll pick that up when it comes out, I'd say do it, because he's super sturdy. With a quick turnaround here, a really interesting transformation, and just a lot of fun overall. This can actually come up here, maybe a little better. But there he is. Last night, Voyager